Yep, he's dead. 2006 was a very weird year. Pluto wasn't a planet anymore, Google just bought YouTube for $1.6 billion, and Borat just came out in the theaters. My wife! But this is also arguably one of the best years for anime. Some of the best and highest rated anime to this day came out this year. Let's see, there was like Death Note, Higurashi, Ouran High School Host Club, Nana. You get the point, right? Code Geass, like you get the point. But there was also this very small indie anime that came out. This a 3-episode anime that everyone loves to talk about.
Boku no Pico.
Boku no Pico?
Boku no Pico was a masterpiece. Everyone loved this show. Everyone wanted to talk about this show. It was infamous. You can really tell that people love the show, right? Especially the ice cream scene. I mean, just look at the reviews. I love the IMDb page of Boku no Pico so much. Sunny Leon is listed as one of the actors who played the ice cream. When I was just getting into anime, Boku no Pico was everywhere. And this was one of those shows that your weeb friend would come up to you and be like, "Hey bro, did you watch Boku no Pico?" "Hey bro, I just got done watching Death Note. You got any other recommendations for me?" "Oh, you should definitely watch Boku no Pico. I mean, come on. It's so good." I don't really think I need to introduce Boku no Pico. I mean, everyone knows what it's about. And if you don't know what it's about, why are you here? Leave!
You gotta kill yourself. I know that may sound sacrilegious or impious, but with my hand on the Bible, that's what you gotta do.
Boku no Pico is about a young boy who does things, you know. I'm not gonna tell you what. You know what he does. The first episode is probably the most famous one, where this guy meets this guy. And I have to tell you, the literal first thing that happens in this entire show, right, is the ice cube scene. Oh my god, I don't even want to remember what happens, but just know the ice cube scene is probably in the top 5 worst things that happens in Boku no Pico. But, moving on. We all know that this guy is a creep, right? Because as soon as we're introduced to him, he's doing all sorts of creepy stuff. Especially when Grandpa Pico tells us that Piccolo is only... Wait, did I just say Piccolo? But when Grandpa Pico tells us that Pico is only here for the summer, he starts, you know, fucking Pico. You know, as you do, correct? The episode ends with them sliming together, if that makes sense. But I don't know whose decision it was to animate it like this, bro. See, around the end of the first episode, Pico asks his abuser, "So, what are we?" "Pico, you're 12. And he's way older than 12. You're nothing but a felony to him." But I see what they're trying to do here. They're trying to make Pico more of like the protagonist of the story, giving him more character and stuff, so that he's not just a 2-dimensional character who gets fucked. I mean, the show is literally called Boku no Pico, which translates to My Pico, while Pico translates to something small. I mean, you can fill in the gaps, right? Now, you might be thinking that the other 2 episodes are also about Pico getting taken advantage of, and Pico getting into circumstances that he never wanted to be in, and it's being really bad for Pico, right? Nope. The second episode is about Pico sliming another kid who seems to be way younger than Pico. Like, I understand, like this is a common phenomenon where, like, kids who've experienced any kind of sexual assault tend to do it to other kids. But I don't even want to talk about this episode, man. It feels like someone's fucked up sexual fantasy. Like, I understand, like, there's a real thing, and Pico doing it on Chico is something that's bound to happen, right? Like, I understand that this is something that happens in, like, real world too. Like, I understand that. But did you really need that BDSM subplot?
Hi.
Now, for the meat of the video, the 3rd episode. Remember, there are 2 characters now, Pico and Chico. I'd like to think that this guy was arrested by the police and they put him in jail or something, but I don't think that's really what happened, because I feel like his parents would have gotten involved and he wouldn't be so carefree in the 2nd episode doing it to other kids, or like the law would have gotten involved. But wait, I'm literally talking about a yaoi hentai.
If it helps for context, because we're being so open here, I'm straight, IRL, like, I have no interest in guys. This is just purely...
Okay, the 3rd episode is probably the weirdest one, considering, you know, it's definitely on the longer side. The 3rd episode is where my theory about Pico being dead is basically confirmed. We meet a new character, Coco, and this whole episode is about them going around Tokyo and sliming each other 7 different times, bro. And in the end, they even decide to run Fortnite tag teams on each other. On the surface, this might seem like a normal episode, but there's so many clues hidden throughout the episode which basically confirms my theory. Let's take the opening as an example. The literal first frame has both Pico and Chico as toys, and Coco is playing with them. I know it's a lot of names, right? Just remember Pico is this guy, Coco is this guy, Coco is the younger one, and fuck. See, even I mess it up. Just remember Pico is this guy, Chico is the younger one, and Coco is the one that we met this episode, right? So in the first little frame of the third episode's opening, we have Coco playing with both Pico and Chico as toys. It might be a reference, a very clear reference to how we all are God's playthings, right? Here Coco being the god. They have this montage of all three of them in different eras across time. I think this also might be Coco just playing with them, or this might be another clue to the big puzzle. If you just hang around the video, you might know what it is. Just saying. But getting back on topic, just after a few frames, they show all three of them with literal angel wings. Come on, that's too on the nose. Even for them, that's too easy, right? Also, last clue, right? This is probably the biggest clue that we get throughout the whole episode. We see a clear picture of Coco holding scales, and they're holding both Pico and Coco on different scales. This might be a clear reference to a god, which we'll talk about later, right? Now, you might be thinking that I'm reaching too hard, like this is just a normal hentai episode and I'm just overanalyzing the opening, going through frame to frame, like I'm doing too much, that's what you might be thinking. But where is everybody? This whole episode is so weird. Except for the main cast, you don't see anyone else. The streets are empty, the roads are empty. I mean, you do see a few cars here and there, but where are the people, man? Even the roller coaster is running empty. Once the three of them meet, Coco introduces themselves as Coco Niiru, which translates to I am here, young man. You too can be a hero. Okay, it just translates to I am here, and Pico is confused by this. He's like, in Tokyo? And Coco corrects them by saying, no, on this planet. Now, this can only lead to two possible conclusions, right? Either Coco is an alien from outer space who's stuck on this planet, or Coco is a ever-living being who always has been, and who always will be. Someone who has always been present for everything, and who always will also be present for everything. It's God. Come on, it's God. Come on. The next scene really solidifies my theory. It's dead tracks. Come on, they're really putting it in our faces. Now, based on everything we've discussed, we can come to the conclusion that Coco is God and Pico is dead. If you still don't believe me, if you're still apprehensive about believing me, let's go back to this frame. Here we can clearly see that Coco is holding a scale with both Pico and Chico on it. The only kind of god or goddess that we see in any mythology holding scales is Themis. Themis in Greek mythology is the goddess of justice and law. What she usually does is she puts sinners on one of the scales and then an appropriate kind of punishment on the other, right? So that weighs them out, makes it equal. I think, according to my theory at least, that Coco is a similar kind of god who put both Pico and Chico on a scale and decided that they shouldn't be punished but rather rewarded. Like if you go back to the montage, they go back to prehistoric era and they have an Edo era. Like it's a theme of reward that they've been given for everything that they've experienced in their whole lives. Like let's just take the bunker for example. It has any kind of food that they'd ever want, every kind of dress that they'd ever wear, and there's no one around to tell them if it's right or wrong and no one around to judge them. The whole world is empty. It's like a consolidation to everything that they might have missed out because they died so young. Now, I understand that you might have some questions like, who is Coco? What is their origin? Or who killed both Pico and Chico? Was it this guy? Or was it Chico's sister? Or why is the god of law and justice fucking 12-year-olds? Hey, I don't got the answer for that, right? I don't have any answer for that. See, my only goal in this video was to prove that Pico is dead. And I think, based on all the evidence that I've provided throughout the video, I think I've proved to the best of my ability that Pico is dead and Coco is anime Jesus.